All right, so my final question in the Functional Nutrition Ask Christy series is an anonymous question. And the question was, what are some effective nutrition strategies to balance hormones during times of high stress? Okay, so kind of tagging on a little bit to the question that I had last week. So, talking about hormones, typically we think of like our sex hormones, right? Our estrogen, our progesterone, our testosterone, those kinds of things. But in terms of hormones in regards to high stress, we are talking mostly about cortisol. Cortisol being elevated can cause massive amounts of issues. Weight gain, especially around the midsection, can cause sleep disruptions, all kinds of things. And elevated cortisol is coming from a overreactive stress response, and typically because of the way we live our lifestyles nowadays and just modern culture, our bodies are experiencing more chronic stress than ever, and this is causing levels of cortisol to be elevated because a lot of us are in a constant state of stress. So what can you do? What sort of type of functional nutrition strategies can you implement to help regulate your cortisol in extra times of high stress or just in general? So in terms of food, one of the best things that you can do is stabilize your blood sugar. So when you consume a large amount of sugar and starchy carbohydrates, your blood sugar is going to elevate really high, and your body's got to do some extra work. It's got to push out some insulin to get those levels back down, and this causes more stress on the body. So it's more work for it to have to try to bring those levels down, get you back to stable, get you back to regulated. So if you can stabilize your blood sugar, a moderate amount of carbohydrates, lots of fiber, and lots of protein, and keep your blood sugar pretty stable throughout the day, you are going to prevent your body from going into a higher stress state where when it goes up, your body has to work really hard to digest those carbs, got to work really hard to bring those blood sugar levels back down. So just keeping it level is going to keep your body in a less state of stress via food. Another food tip would be incorporating your high antioxidant foods, things like beans and berries, and foods loaded with vitamin C. So your adrenal glands, which support your stress response and make cortisol and things like that, it requires vitamin C in order to function well. Okay, so high antioxidants foods, lots of berries, lots of beans, lots of kale, all the things, and lots of foods that are high in vitamin C. Okay, another thing that you can do aside from food, there are a lot of herbal remedies that are fantastic with supporting a healthy stress response and healthy adrenal glands and cortisol levels and all of those things. Again, I mentioned in the last video, herbs are so powerful in a great way. So you want to be careful with them, especially like when it comes to supplements and quality supplements and how much are in the supplements and everything like that. You want to work with a practitioner if you're going to utilize a supplement for your stress response. But there are some fantastic herbal teas out there that I drink myself. So something like lemon balm tea is excellent to support a stress response, a healthy stress response. There's ashwagandha tea. You can drink ashwagandha tea, and that is very effective in lowering and stabilizing cortisol levels. Holy basil is another one. So herbal tea is fantastic. I drink it all day long to help support my digestion and my stress response and all of those things. So any sort of teas like that you can work into your day, especially at nighttime before you go to bed, will be really beneficial. Two more things. So sleep hygiene is crucial. We talked about last week how your cortisol has a diurnal pattern and it kind of goes opposite of melatonin. So when you're waking up and when you're falling asleep and staying asleep and all of those things, we want to regulate those patterns that your hormones have. And the best way you can do that is with good sleep hygiene, most especially sleep consistency in terms of your hygiene. So going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, 7 days a week, yes, including the weekends, you want to try to keep it within an hour. So like for me, I try to keep mine between 5:30 and 6:30. And 6:30 will be my weekend time. And at nighttime, I am heading to bed between 9:30 and 10:30. My lights are definitely out at 10:30, and I try to keep that regulated. And it's pretty wild when you really work hard at that. If you're consistent with it, I wake up in the morning and my eyes open and it's time for me to be awake now. And I used to be a chronic snoozer. I would hit that snooze alarm over and over and over again as many times as I possibly could until the last minute. Okay, so sleep hygiene, regulating those hormones that involve stress. And then the last one, in high periods of stress, you guys know I'm all for the hard workout and pushing yourself and all those things, but during high periods of stress, especially if you have elevated cortisol, if you're testing and your cortisol is dysregulated, you want to minimize the intensity of your exercise. I'm not saying to stop exercising, but the HIIT days for like the balance workouts, the burpees and the squat jumps and the things like that, modify them, okay? Maybe so you're not jumping and your heart rate's not getting as high. Maybe on that day, incorporate a 30-minute walk if it's a really high stressful time of your life. Prioritize low intensity exercise, all the strength training, the core workouts, the body weight stuff, the bar stuff, lots and lots of walks, lots and lots of sunshine. Low intensity exercise is going to be most beneficial because exercise is good for the body. It is eustress, but it is stress, okay? So when you're in an already elevated stress state, you're going to increase that sympathetic nervous system with your high intensity exercise. So for a period of time, it could be beneficial to keep your workouts low and slow. All right, this has been so fun, ladies. If you've been listening to all of these and any of them pertain to you and you're like, I think I need to chat with Christy, I need to get to the bottom of this, that sounds like what I have going on, just head to the support page in the Balance app and click one-on-one functional nutrition, and you can book a complimentary 15-minute consultation. No strings attached, nothing like that. You and I will just talk about what you have going on, and we'll see if there's any testing or any supplements or anything that we might be able to do and move forward with a possible comprehensive plan that could get you the results that you've really been searching for, especially if your doctors are not listening to you. I've been there. You don't have to suffer. I am here to listen and I'm here to help. Thanks for tuning into this whole series. I hope you guys learned something. Everybody have a great week. Bye.